Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make Cuban sandwiches. We are going to make ingredients ourselves, but the others are going to be store-bought. So for the sandwich you need Cuban bread, but Cuban bread we are going to make, and the ingredients for that is going to be in a couple minutes, where I'm going to explain how to make it. And then we're going to make pulled pork. This is our pulled pork. We are going to sear it first. We are cooking it in the Dutch oven. And then we are going to steam it. We are using salt and pepper. We are not using any marinade. And you cook it, first you sear it, and then you steam it for about 2 hours. And we use a seasoning of just salt and pepper. And we also use apple cider vinegar in there. So this is how we do it because it's really easy. Yeah, so see you guys in 2 hours. So right here, I got my pulled pork, and this is a really tender piece. And look how tender this beef is, this pork is. So for shredding, you use 2 table forks, and then just shred it until they're like this. And this recipe is really easy, and it's also really good to eat. So like this, I just go in. I'll go in like this and like that, and start just shredding it off. Not peeling the whole piece off, just shredding it. Like this. And it should be just like this, as you see right here. And that is how you pull the pork. And now I will go over all this, and I'll just do a time lapse. So I'll see you in a bit. So right here I have my finished product, and just like you saw in the time lapse, it doesn't take long. This pork is really tender, and it'll fall apart really easily. And yeah, so now we're gonna go to the bread making. Okay, now for the Cuban bread, I have 1 1¼ cup of warm water, not hot, not cold, just warm, just like bath water. And then I have one tablespoon of yeast right here, active yeast. And I'm gonna go and put it into here. And then get a spoon and start stirring it like this. Just like that. And when you're done mixing, set it aside for 8 to 10 minutes, and then I will show you how to make your dough. Now let this sit for 8 to 10 minutes, cover it in plastic wrap, and just set it aside for 10 minutes. Now I got my 3½ cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of salt. And now we are going to have to mix it around so that all the sugar and salt are not in one place. Okay, now after 10 minutes, grab your yeast mixture and slowly pour it in. Like this. You can use a dough kneader, but I don't have one, so just use a spoon. And then after you have, if you don't have one, and you already mixed it, now use your hands and start kneading the dough like this. So, and keep on mixing it until it's like this. And then yeah, for about when it's like this texture, get all these little crumples of dough that are down here. They will stick to the main dough if you put it there. And now for the next step. So now you put 1 1/2 teaspoon of lard or butter and put it in, and then incorporate it with your dough. And don't worry about it melting, because it will melt when you bake it, and that's what creates the layers in a baguette. So if you're using butter, which I'm not, just use a spatula to press it against a cutting board or a plate, and then put it in here. So here, this is what I got from it. Now, just keep on mixing until you don't feel any mold, or until you feel it and it's smooth like this. And yeah. Oil up a medium-sized bowl, then shape your dough like this. And put it into a greased medium-sized bowl. Then get some plastic wrap and cover it with greased plastic wrap. And then let this sit until it rises up for 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, now you have your dough right here, and your risen dough right here, and then you have just a cutting board with flour on it. And so now you have to degas your dough by punching it like this, and then even it out evenly. this. And then with a knife or any other thing that you can cut it with, a bread cutter or whatever, cut it down into 2 even pieces. And then take these pieces like this, and now you just start flattening them out, making them into the baguette. After you do that, then fold a towel over them, and then let them sleep. No, don't let them sleep. Let them rest for 10 minutes. So like this, you put it on, and then it should rest for about half an hour. Okay, now this is a very important part. Make sure your oven has the 2 racks like this, but 1 rack is 2 away from the other rack. And set the temperature to 400 degrees. For 15 minutes. And this is not all the baking you do, but when you are baking, use a pan of boiling water that you put below the baguettes. See, I have my baguettes all really high, and that's gonna basically make a steam bath for them for 15 minutes. And yeah, and then I'll tell you when we put them after the 15 minutes. I will tell you what's the next step. Okay, now it's preheated. I have my preheated oven. First, I'll put my boiling water with my pan into the oven like this. And remember, this will be only for 15 minutes. Then they will cook for 20 minutes on the same temperature. So here I got my baguettes. And now put them on the rack above the pan. And what you're trying to do, you're trying to make steam. And now I'll leave it for 15 minutes. See you in 15 minutes, guys. So now I got my baguette, and it's been 15 minutes now. So after 15 minutes, you get the pan of water right here. Get the pan of water out. Yeah. So after that, just close it back up for 20 to 22 minutes, or when it's golden brown. Yeah. So see you then. Okay. So now I have the bread, and this is the final product, and this is how it should look. Like this. And this is how you make Cuban bread. And I'll put it to rest, and it has to be completely cooled down before you make sandwiches from it. And yeah. Okay, so now this is our final product with the bread, our Cuban bread. Now we're gonna have to slice two. We have 2 of these, so we're gonna make 4 sandwiches out of these. So maybe get right to the half point of both of these, then go in with your bread knife, like this, and look at that. That is really nice. Then go down like this. And that is how the insides look of it. And now do for all 4. So some people they cut off the sides, but I keep the sides on because it's a waste of bread, and the bread takes a pretty long time to make, so I keep them on. Maybe it's a little harder to chew, but there's more to eat. So like that, and then just keep on doing them for however many people you like. So do this. And now you have to put some butter on this. So now I have my bread. Then you have some butter. This is a very important part. Get some butter and start spreading it on the bread. And this will allow you to toast it really well in a pan. And yes. And first, after this, you're gonna have to toast the bread in a pan, but don't add any extra butter because this will butter the whole thing. Like so. And it should be like this at the end. Yeah. And I will do for all of the other ones. Now I got my pan, and I'm heating it to medium high, and now I'm gonna put in my toast or bread. Like that, and wait until they're just crisping. You can turn them over, and they will be a little bit. They will be orange brown and a little bit crispy, but chewy on the inside. And now you just have to wait a couple minutes for the butter to melt on them. This is better than a toaster because you can't regulate the heat of the toaster. And yeah. So I'll show you when we're finished. So right now I got them, and they're just about done. See, almost starting to get golden on the outsides. That's how it should look like right there. And now repeat for how many sandwiches you're gonna do. This is how it should look in the inside. Oh yeah, like that. Just a little bit golden brown. Now, this is how you assemble your sandwiches. First, take a sandwich. Get some mustard. Get some mustard on it, just a little bit, like that. And spread it on the whole piece of bread, like that. And get some more. Put it on both sides, like that. Just like that. Go all around like this. Then, take some pickles right here and slice your pickles not in a circle, but like this. And then line them all up. Like this. And like this. So, and that should be your bottom row right here. And then put on some cheese. You put on some Swiss cheese right here. Put on 2 slices right here. And then you get your pulled pork. Put it on right here. Put it on. And then get your ham on it. Like this. And then I use something that nobody really uses. I use pickled white onions. And just put a little bit of them on like this. Like that. Then press it and press it down. But wait, that's not all. We're gonna make it a panini. And that's gonna make it pressed down all the way. Now, put in your pan again. You're using some butter. And then put in on one side of it, of your sandwich, like that. And then get a pan or anything heavy and press it down. See, I have some chicken stock right here. And I'm going, or use anything heavy, but see, my one little pan is not enough. So just press down on it until it is flat. With your pan. And then once you're done, like that, a little bit, get it and flip it. Oh yeah, like that. And then you go right here and you put it and you flatten it more. Like that. Do it for a couple of minutes. And get your cheese a good melt on it. Now lift it up. Get a plate. And see, my sandwich is now upside down. But then you flip it. And that is your sandwich right there. Now, get your bread knife again. And don't cut it on a plate, cut it on the board, like this, and like that. And that is how you make a Cuban sandwich.